Antioch, if you don't know, is a Anglican church planting network where we're wanting to plant church within our deprived communities, the communities that are on the edge, council estates, inner cities. And then primarily we work with parishes, so parishes will invite us in. That's the primary way that we work, and we're working partnerships. So right now we're in Brakemet, and we were invited by Christchurch Wendy at Christchurch Harwood. So we're working with Wendy, we're working with Viv at St James in reaching this community and planting church here. And it's been great fun. We've been here a few months. We moved from Oldham's Church and we've got a small team joining us. So Antioch is Anglican, so therefore clergy are sort of overseeing the church plants, and our primary goal is to raise up lay leaders to run the churches but still have that clergy oversight, and obviously for doing communion and the sacraments and different bits. But so I look after approximately 7 churches at the moment, that are, most of which are in pre-launch stage, so we're about to start in the next 12 to 18 months. And across the whole network, the aim is by a few years' time to have 16 congregations, all overseen by clergy and with lay leaders involved in leadership. So here we're on Brakemet, and specifically Topeth Brow part of Brakemet Estate. We've been prayer walking here for about 2.5 years now, and in this last 3 months we've gathered a team together, people who are going to be committed to the new church here. And so we meet every Monday. This is where we are now. We have some food, we pray, we worship, we have communion together, and eventually at some point in the next 6 months we'll launch Sunday worship locally here. And we're exploring a few options. Like I said, we're building lists, so we generally rent spaces. But like I said, working with the Anglican churches here, but other churches as well, that many of whom have been working here for many, many years. So genuinely is a partnership for the gospel. Because we're sort of under the radar in that sense, because we don't own buildings, we've been able to develop real momentum, especially these teams that are going to be planting in the next 12 to 18 months. And so I'm really grateful to God for that, because it's been a horrendous 2 years, but somehow we've still managed to develop some momentum. So our team here is about 8 adults, about 9 adults, and about 12 under 18. So it's just a joy having them, and we really want to do this with them. We call it being family on a mission. Yeah, they've got to get excited about this just as much as we are, and so we try and make it interactive, creative, and involve them in the praying and in the thinking of ideas here and stuff. So yeah, it's great to have them.
We do different prayer stations, which I find like really fun, which is what one of these are, and it just sort of helps. I think it's more interactive with like our kind of age rather than like normal church services, and it sort of just makes you like think about everything a lot more.
We always go off in groups like Ira said, and I think it's very good because then you connect with different people and like hear everyone else's views, and it's just like it's a little bit like alpha in some ways, because it's like, you know, you all get to hear other people's opinions, and just like actually. And you also get to pray together, and I think that's really good, because like whether you're confident or not confident, you get the opportunity just to see what it's like as a group and like hear other people's opinions. It's really good.
Yeah. I feel like it gives you like a really nice sense of community as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I feel like really at home here, I've only been coming for like, it's like a month now, 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. But like you just sort of get to know everyone really well and become like really good friends.
I've never actually been here before. This is my first time. I don't know what to expect. Obviously I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But yeah.
So I've been at Oldham's Church for 2 years now. I did my placement there as an ordinand, and it was just a natural progression to take over as curate there, when Ben moved on to set up the plant here at Topeth Brow. So about 3 weeks ago we did the Extreme Prayer Challenge, which was a 50-mile walk all around Bolton. So the idea was we'd be constantly praying for the town, and we had 6 churches on the route where we'd stop, get refreshments and use them as prayer stations. So 7 of us finished the full 360, and we camped overnight at King's Church, but there were 6 different churches. It was just really good to get everyone together, different churches, different styles, and pray for the town.
And also to stop at some of those churches where they were really hospitable, weren't they, and provided you with food and drink, but some of them really felt on the margins, and some of the little churches that felt a bit lost and forgotten, and that they realised actually they were still part of a really big network and a vibrant town, and but they weren't forgotten. People were, they were on people's hearts.
Church saved my life, I think, essentially. So I've been in active addiction for 20 odd years before I got to church. Did an Alpha course with Ben and Amy in the front room and realised that God had died for me while I was still being what I was. And top of brow is an expression of that, I guess. I want people to know what I know. I want people to be free from whatever they're suffering from, This is very much like Oldham's estate, people have the same issues, drugs, abuse, whatever, alcohol and that. I just want to know I want people to know about Jesus and the freedom that he brings with that. I think I've got so much to say to people about where they are and what they're struggling with. I help lead a Celebrate Recovery group that's run through Oldham's Church, and that's seen fruit, but it's a slow process for people, If I could do it for people, then I'd love to, make them better in a day, but that's not generally the case. It's not how I've seen the Lord work. It's a slow, gradual process, and I just want to be involved with these people as they make better decisions, I guess, and hopefully turn their lives around. In the end, we want them to save souls for Jesus, don't we?